We are so impressed by the environment in which we live that we suck it in and it becomes part of who we are. The fact of the matter is this, that our parents have a profound influence upon us, so much so that the good things in them have marked us and the deficiencies in them have marked us as well. So much so that healthcare professionals that have the task of helping people untangle some of the challenges they face in life can trace parental impact on career choice, on who you marry, on why you marry, on if you marry, on your ability to stay married, on how you do your marriage, on how you express intimacy, your struggles with intimacy, how you parent, how you relate to people in general, your identity and your self-esteem, your propensity to alcoholism, to drug abuse, to sexual abuse, obesity, anorexia, frigidity, promiscuity, homicidal rage, and impotent passivity. The marks of our family on us are profound. And God knew that would be true. God knew that the children would need a skill to relate well to an imperfect parent. And as a result, God has something to say. God does not want your life to be a bad example. God has a desire for you to succeed, to be blessed in every area of your life. And so he's got something vital to say to you to help you manage this issue well. God knew the importance of parental impact. God also knew the fact that we have a tendency not to view our parents with a balanced eye. We have either a tendency to deify our parents and we see no wrong, or we have a tendency to vilify our parents and we see no good. And God knew we were going to need a skill if we were going to handle the imperfections of our parents well. God knew we would need that to undo some of the intensity of it. And he also knew that if we could learn this skill, wherever we bumped into another paradoxical person in our life, we would have the ability to manage that well. Or did you think you would marry someone in this life that would never present you with a single challenge, no emotional challenges, no adjustment of life necessary? You married someone who was just downright perfect. Or did you think you would move into a neighborhood where all the neighbors wake up at night and think about how they might create an environment where you were just totally happy? Or did you think you would get a job with an employer who sits at his desk all day just trying to make sure the firm is running in a way that never presents you with a challenge? Or that you would hire employees who turn up every day and everything they do just suits you right down to the ground? You've never got a challenge to face with your employer. Or you would go to a small group where the leader mystically and divinely guides the discussion every week to perfectly suit your anticipated and unstated expectations. Or did you think you would come to a church where the pastor amazingly seems to know to call even when you never asked? He seems to anticipate unspoken needs. He just moves silently and brilliantly to cover every unspoken need you've ever had. What do you think life is about? You relate to paradoxical people everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, you relate to people who bless you and create challenges for you. And if you could learn a skill with your own parents, you would be able to step out into the world and manage every paradoxical challenge you ever faced. Everywhere you went, you could succeed because you have the skill to do it. God knew that you would need that skill, and as a result, he has something to say to you about that. How many people would like to know what God has to say about this issue? Anyone want to hear what God has to say? There's six. Anyone? We could go somewhere else. If this isn't happening, we go different message. How many people would like to know what God thinks that would help you to handle the paradox of your own? Of course, we need this. All right, here it is. It's so simple, I think you'll be able to remember it. In fact, you might be disappointed enough to realize you know it already. That's a pretty disappointing deal. Because you're sitting there thinking, I think he's going to tell me a secret for life. This is going to be brilliant, brilliant. Well, here it is. God has one thing to say to you. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 12. The wisdom of God to handle paradoxical parents. Are you ready? You shall honor your father and your mother. Duh. Just when I thought he was going to say something good, comes out with that kind of rubbish. Honor your father and your mother. Honor your father and your mother. Yeah, that's right. The Bible's full of that kind of stuff. Yeah. God's always saying, yeah, honor the old folks. You know why God wants you to honor the old folks? Because he's the Ancient of Days. That's why he's just sticking up for old folks.